Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Swallowed Star 2 episode number 73 based on novel. So let's start. Food Country, Liu Yin chaotic state. The latest and complete intelligence on Luohi? In the secluded quiet room, Liu Yin, who was already checking the intelligence. He had been subscribing to Luohi's intelligence for a long time, and he would receive any latest intelligence as soon as possible. However, as Luo Feng became stronger and stronger, the price of intelligence became more and more expensive. The first Chaos Realm transcendent in the entire Origin continent? And he created his own body refining method? In the near future, will you become a God King? Moreover, the number of clones is too numerous to count. These pieces of information made Liu Yin whose face even uglier. He felt the danger of death looming over him. He can easily create clones. Huyang City is his city, so there should be clones guarding it. Liu Yinhu looked up. The two sides are neighbors and the distance is too close. This information is correct. Without the help of external forces, he can become the first in the Chaos Realm. With this talent, he can become a Divine King at any time. Once he becomes a Divine King, his strength will be enhanced across the board, and he might be able to kill me completely. Marquis Lin's heart trembled. As he is at the peak of the Chaos Realm, his ability to protect his life is very strong, but Luo Feng's current strength is terrifying. How strong will he be after becoming the God King? After I become the God King by cultivating the three origins of life, destruction and matter, who knows what terrible killing moves I will come up with. If my resurrection carriers are all killed in an instant, I will be completely dead. Liu Yinhu thought. It is very difficult to completely kill a Chaos Realm being, or even to prevent him from having enough time to perform the secret art of reincarnation. But considering Luo his terrifying power, Marquis Liu Yin didn't dare to gamble. This Luo he hates evil and is extremely hostile to evil. Based on my understanding of his character, he is ignoring me now only because he is not sure of killing me completely. Once he is sure, he will probably do it quietly. Liu Yinhu's eyes were grim. That's all. Give up everything in front of you. After reading the information, Marquis Liu Yin thought for a moment and made a decision. Only reincarnation can completely get rid of the causal entanglement with Luo He. I can't afford to offend him, so I can only hide from him. Liu Yinhu thought, under the operation of the supreme rules of reincarnation, no one can find the reincarnated body, and the action must be fast. Once it is slow, he may become a God King at any time. Marquis Liu Yin was also a decisive person. In his heart, the clan's fiefdom was not as important as himself. He decided to abandon them all in just a few moments. On that day, Marquis Liu Yin came out of seclusion and began to make some arrangements. Once the arrangements were completed, it would be the matter of reincarnation. Countless snowflakes fall in the snow realm all year round. Snowflakes fall to the ground, turn into water, and gradually merge into countless rivers. These countless rivers are rushing, and the main trunks and branches of the rivers are densely packed, like blood vessels spread throughout the entire snow world. These countless snowflakes and the countless rivers that spread across the snow world are the true body of the ancestor of the snow world. This is a powerful being who has cultivated the origin of life to an incredible level. The snowflakes floating in the sky gathered into a figure, smiling and looking towards the direction of Yangfeng ancient country. The last time I heard of Luo his name was because he killed my disciple and made enemies with Liu Yinhu. He himself went to Yangfeng ancient country with Emperor Chuyu. Who would have thought that in the blink of an eye, he has become the first in the Chaos Realm? Snow Realm sins could rank among the top 10 in the Origin continent, but his own aura was transcendent and seemed extremely pure. He refined and mastered all 6 major branches of the Great Tao of the Origin of Life, and used the Dripping Blood Sutra to command the 6 major branches. He cultivated to the extreme of the first level of the Divine King and reached the realm of Dripping Blood as the boundary. The origin of life, the ability to preserve life, is the most important. I have cultivated the Blood Sutra to the extreme of the first level of the Divine King. In terms of survival, many second-level Divine Kings are not as good as me. However, my ability to fight the enemy is too weak. The Snow Realm ancestor shook his head slightly. In a head-on fight, I guess I'd be no match for Luo He. With his reputation, his frontal strength does seem a bit weak. For example, 72 Blades of Destruction did not require the help of external objects for cultivation. Once the first level of the Divine King was reached, one could fight against opponents of higher levels. This was the difference in the paths of cultivation. The 6 branches of the Road of Origin of Destruction are all for killing, and they are extremely strong in natural killing. Although the Road of Origin of Life also has a method to exterminate life, compared with other roads, it is much weaker in fighting. Destruction, matter, time, space, infinity. Which path would not be stronger than life in a head-on confrontation? I am cultivating life, and comprehending higher levels of soul essence blood is also suitable. But once I start practicing, the remaining will in the Hunyuan bloodline will pollute me. The Snow Realm ancestor was also very clear about the flaws of the Hunyuan bloodline. Once the Hunyuan bloodline is integrated into the body, it will not only transform the body, but also distort the soul and pollute the spiritual will. The original remaining will of the Hunyuan bloodline will continue to pollute its own will. The flaws of the Hunyuan bloodline are getting more and more serious as time goes on. It is said that the Hunyuan bloodline above the ultimate Divine King realm has even more flaws. But no matter how big the flaws are, they cannot conceal the fact that these bloodlines originate from the primordial life outside the cage, which is a higher level of life. In order to practice the Blood Sutra, I have committed countless sins and created too many causes and effects. I can sense that I must become stronger, otherwise my life will be completely destroyed. The Snow Realm ancestor thought. Then his figure disappeared, and he began to practice the Hunyuan bloodline with all his heart. The news of Luo He's rise, his self-created body-refining method, and his ability to surpass the first in the Chaos Realm spread among the truly powerful people in the Origin continent. There is a holy place in the ancient country of Thunder, called Thunder Mountain. The Hermit of Thunder Mountain has also arrived here. Thunder Mountain looks like a towering mountain from a distance, but once you climb it, you will find that it is extremely vast. There are separate time and space on Thunder Mountain. The 9 monarchs of the ancient country of Thunder all have their real bodies or incarnations living here, and other gods and royal elites also often come here. My disciples are much stronger than me. The mountain guest was in a good mood. He was the first in the Chaos Realm. When I was at my peak, my strength was about the same as Luo Feng's now. When he was the God King of Jin, he trained his body like a secret weapon and reached the realm of cosmic body. His body was extremely terrifying and was not inferior to Luo Feng today. Even when the physical body is escaping, it is like a secret treasure of escape, with many escape abilities. At that time, the 3 rulers of the Food Kingdom made sufficient preparations and took action suddenly, and the hermit still managed to escape. But in such a sudden attack, his wife, his fellow disciples, and his tribe were all destroyed. It was because of his endless hatred that the hermit chose to go to the Universe Sea to seek a chance for revenge. My wife, my fellow disciples, my brothers in life and death, my tribe. The endless hatred of the hermit had been brewing for a long time and had long since penetrated deep into his soul. He will do anything to get revenge. Be patient and wait for Luo Feng to grow. Swashanka didn't even go to look for Luo Feng. He didn't want to put any pressure on Luo Feng. He just wanted Luo Feng to grow up peacefully. As the hermit was walking and thinking, he suddenly saw a figure in front of him and immediately saluted, Lord of the Wild Wind City. The incarnation of the divine power of the Lord of Desolate Wind City just responded impatiently and then walked away. The hermit didn't care at all, because he knew that the real body of the Lord of Huangfeng City was now imprisoned by his apprentice Luo Feng. After a moment, the hermit came to an ancient hall. After he waited patiently for a long time in the empty hall, a figure bathed in flames appeared on the throne in the hall. Xiangjia, do you want to cultivate the Hunyuan bloodline? The flaming figure looked down upon the hermit. Yes, the blazing fire god king. The hermit said respectfully. If a guest official from the Chaos Realm wants to cultivate the chaotic origin bloodline, he must either accumulate enough merits or completely join the Thunder Ancient Nation. The flaming figure looked at the guest. Your merits are not enough. The hermit said, I am willing to join the ancient country of thunder completely. The guests are very free, and it is normal for them to leave the ancient country, but once they join completely, they will be tied to the chariot of the thunder ancient country. Okay. The flame figure nodded. Completely joining the thunder ancient nation only qualifies you to cultivate the Hunyuan bloodline. If you really want to cultivate it, there are still many obstacles. Even among the royal family members, there are very few who can enter the primal chaos realm and transcend the primal chaos realm. I understand. The hermit replied. When cultivating the Hunyuan bloodline, the stronger your spiritual will is, the better, and the deeper your understanding of the Great Tao is, the better. If you are completely contaminated by the remaining wool of the Hunyuan bloodline and forget yourself, then you will be completely out of control. The flame figure said, according to the rules of my thunder ancient country, once you completely lose control and lose yourself, you will be imprisoned in prison for 10,000 centuries. If you still cannot recover within 10,000 centuries, you will be executed. I understand, and I am ready, said the hermit. He is originally a god king, and his realm is much higher than the chaos realm. After experiencing countless hardships, his mind and will are also at the second level of the god king realm. It is certain that Xiangjia can stay sober when he enters the realm. As for the later period, it is hard to say. Not long ago, an ancient being in the Thunder Kingdom, the Snow Demon King, lost control. The Snow Demon King's strength was equal to that of the 9 monarchs of the Thunder Kingdom. The reason why he didn't become a monarch was because he couldn't fully control his own power and would occasionally lose control. This time when he lost control, he devoured everything wantonly, and even ate the true body of another god king of the second realm, Thunder-killing God King, who was also a member of the royal family, and swallowed a god king's ultimate realm weapon into his stomach, digesting the weapon. Follow me, first choose the Hunyuan bloodline inheritance, and then choose the corresponding Hunyuan bloodline. The flaming figure left with the hermit. The Lord of Huangfeng City is also paying homage to the God King at this moment. Ancestor, my true body has been suppressed and imprisoned by Luo He. The divine incarnation of the Lord of Desolate Wind City said anxiously. He said that at least 300 billion universes are needed to kill him before he is willing to let go. I can collect 80 billion myself, and I still need 220 billion universe sands. You are incompetent, so you came to me to borrow the cosmic sand. A towering giant sat there, stroking his scales, and curled his lips and said, I still lack resources for my own cultivation. Ancestor. The Lord of Desolate Wind City was extremely anxious. How about you come forward and talk to Luo He? The towering giant said angrily, there is no room for negotiation. You don't know the rules of my thunder ancient country. When people of the same level fight, the upper level will never interfere. If you are not as strong as the other party, you deserve to die. Even when the God King of my Thunder ancient country fought with the God King of the Flame Wind ancient country, many God Kings died in history. The two ancestors never interfered. If the same level fights, the upper level will never intervene, and if someone dies, it is only because of insufficient strength. If the big bull is the small, the two ancient countries will not tolerate it. What should we do? No one in the Chaos Realm can defeat Na Loha. The Lord of Huangfeng City was helpless. It's not that we can't help it. The towering giant said with a smile, the Snow Demon prison needs a guard now. It only takes 1,000 epochs to get 1,000,000 merits. I can exchange these 1,000,000 merits for 300 billion universes to kill for you. The guard of the Snow Demon prison. The Lord of Wild Wind City was anxious. Is the Snow Demon King imprisoned there now? The ancient country of Thunder is very tolerant of the Snow Demon King, and hopes to let him slowly master the power of his bloodline. Once he can stay awake forever, he will be a true monarch. This is the only way to earn 1,000,000 merits in a short period of time. The towering giant said, don't worry, the Snow Demon King is relatively safe in captivity. The Lord of Huangfeng City grinned. Safer? If there was even the slightest problem, the real body he was responsible for guarding would be destroyed or even contaminated. Let me think about it. Let me think about it again. The Lord of Huangfeng City was a little worried. This task is very urgent. Once a God King level puppet can be dispatched, it will not be your turn. The towering giant said that being the guard of the Snow Demon prison also has many tasks. Puppets of God King strength are the most suitable, and they are not afraid of will pollution, but their number is too rare. There are too many strong people in the Thunder Ancient country who occasionally lose control, and God King puppets are not enough. Ancestor, I will think of another way. The Lord of Huangfeng City immediately bowed and retreated. If he had a choice, he would never be the guard of the Snow Demon prison. The second wave of eruption of the Blood Spirit Star also lasted for about 3 days. Luo Feng did not encounter any interference and easily collected all the Blood Spirit crystal beads. The second wave of eruption is over. Luo Feng looked at the Blood Spirit Star, which had regained its calm, and nodded slightly. This time, a total of 72 Blood Spirit gold beads were obtained. Then, Luo Feng put away the vast Black River world with a thought. During these 3 days, the Black River world has been maintained because they were worried that someone would come to steal the Blood Spirit Golden Pearl. It's been 3 days, and the Lord of Desolate Wind City can't even produce 300 billion cosmic sands. Luo Feng shook his head. After negotiating with the Lord of Desolate Wind City, Luo Feng agreed that as long as the other party produced 300 billion cosmic sands, he would let him go. 300 billion cosmic kills are roughly equivalent to 1 million merits. To cultivate the Hunyuan bloodline and body, one needs to pay at least a price of millions of merits. He only wants a value of 1 million merits, which is not high. Send the Blood Spirit Golden Pearl back first. Luo Feng soared into the air. While flying, Luo Feng naturally created a clone. One clone carried the Blood Spirit Golden Pearl and headed straight for the capital of Chu, while the other real body headed straight for the border city of Xiangjia City where the great sage Yangsu was. The ancient country of Yangfeng, the capital of Chu. Brother Luo He. The incarnation of Di Chuyu's divine power saw Luo Feng above the Marquis mansion. Luo Feng landed nearby and said with a smile, "The second wave of Blood Spirit Gold Beads explosion has ended. This time we got 72 Blood Spirit Gold Beads." He waved his hand and took out all the Blood Spirit Gold Beads. Di Chuyu looked at it with fiery eyes. Last time Luo Feng sent 9 Blood Spirit Gold Beads, including this time, it was a total of 81 Blood Spirit Gold Beads. Chu Yinghu, who was ranked second in the Blood Spirit Gold Bead task, only received 25. Because of Brother Luo He, I am definitely the first in the Blood Spirit Golden Pearl mission. Di Chuyu said with emotion. Judging from the time, there is a possibility that the Blood Spirit Star will have a third outbreak within the mission period. Luo Feng said. The mission period is 1 season, and only half of it is left now. Di Chuyu thought for a moment and said, since I have secured first place in the Blood Spirit Gold Bead mission, if there is a third wave of Blood Spirit Gold Beads, will Brother Luo He sell them to other first-class marquises? I believe that 1 Blood Spirit Gold Bead can be sold for 20 to 30 billion cosmic sands. If we sell 30 to 50 Blood Spirit Gold Beads, we will get 100 billion cosmic sands. No need. Luo Feng shook his head. Don't lose sight of the big picture because of the small details. Your heavenly mission is more important. Di Chuyu felt warm in his heart. He felt that Brother Luo He had helped him so much, that he had nothing to repay him. I understand. Di Chuyu nodded. As a newly promoted first-class Marquis, he had limited accumulated resources. Only if he ranked high enough in this heavenly mission could he obtain truly precious resources. Then he could select some suitable precious resources to give to Brother Luo He. Chuyu made a decision secretly. Di Chuyu thought it was only natural to allocate a part of it. Without Brother Luo He, his ranking would probably be much lower and the resources he would get would be greatly reduced. Moreover, Di Chuyu also understood Luo Feng's character and realized that he was not an ungrateful person. Moreover, even the information from the Yangfeng Guild said that it wouldn't be long before Luo He would become the God King, so the sooner he was gifted the resources, the better. I have a clone living in the cave. Luo Feng said, if you have any trouble, feel free to find me. Okay. Emperor Chuyu responded. The intelligence was correct, Brother Luo he had a lot of clones. After giving the blood spirit golden pearl, Luo Feng left soon. Now that the Hunyuan crystal spirit fruit was taking effect, Luo Feng had no intention of enjoying himself and was focused on cultivation. Before concentrating on practicing, Yang Su should be punished. Luo Feng's real body hurried as fast as he could, heading straight for Xiangjia City. Xiangjia City is also one of the many cities on the long border between the two ancient countries. Normal border cities are guarded by people in the Chaos Realm, but Xiangjia City is guarded by a Chaos Realm Transcendent, which shows the special nature of this place. You know, there are very few Chaos Realm Transcendents in the entire Yangfeng ancient country, and there are only a dozen or so who are willing to guard the city. The place guarded by these dozen Chaos Realm Transcendents is. Every realm is an important place. The person with the most respected status in Xiangjia City is naturally the garrison general Yang Su. These two palaces are very famous. Among the many forces hidden in the darkness on the origin continent, the two palaces are among the most formal members. It is said that they are at least the second level of the God King. Yang Su's face looked grim. I didn't expect that he would do things so shamelessly. What a shame, I only got 8 blood spirit gold beads, not the agreed 10. All the promised benefits are gone. Yang Su was filled with rage. This time he was dealing with the mysterious being from the Two Realms Palace. Being cautious, he promised that you can get at least 10 blood spirit gold beads. In his opinion, with his means, it would be easy for him to obtain 10 blood spirit gold beads in 2 or 3 waves of blood spirit gold beads explosions. This was the number he reported out of caution. He obtained 8 in the first explosion, but from the second on, they were all monopolized by Luo Feng, and the final total number could not reach 10. I fought hard for him and managed to snatch 8 blood spirit gold pearls. I also dealt with Luo He and made enemies with him. You don't even give me any benefits. Yang Su had seen what it was like to be a formal member of the Two Realms Palace. He had no way to stop the other party from doing this. On the one hand, he had no idea the other party's identity, and the gap in strength between them was too huge, so he had no way out. On the other hand, he did not arrive on time, so the other party did not break his promise. No wonder these dark forces hide in the dark. They say they are fair, but in fact, they are all very shady. Yang Su thought to himself, next time, I must get the benefits first before doing anything. This time, I really lost a lot. Suddenly, Yang Su, who was in the garrison, sensed the arrival of a huge operating law by virtue of his control over the entire Xiangjia city formation. Not good. Yang Su looked up and saw that the sky outside had turned dark. Whoosh! Yang Su instantly arrived above the town capital and saw a dark world with a range of trillions of kilometers which completely sealed off the entire Xiangjia city. The total diameter of Xiangjia city is only 300 billion kilometers. The Black River world that Luo Feng deployed is enough to cover 1 trillion kilometers, and Xiangjia city is completely wrapped in it. It's Luo his Black River world. Yang Su's heart sank. The trouble is coming. This Luo he is really merciless. Luo he. Yang Su spoke immediately. His voice was mighty and resounding throughout the sky of Xiangjia city. A towering figure appeared in the sky above Xiangjia city. It was Luo Feng. Brother Luo He, I admit that I have offended you before, and I am willing to apologize. I wonder if this can resolve the hatred between you and me. Yang Su said in a voice transmission. Luo Feng looked at him and said, if you are willing to apologize, I am not such a stingy person. Our grudge can be written off. Brother Luo He, please tell me a number. Yang Su said, if you lose, just admit defeat. I heard that great sage Yang Su has a pair of void divine cones. Give me this pair of void divine cones as compensation, and the matter will be settled. Luo Feng's voice sounded beside Yang Su's ears. Yang Su's eyes turned red in an instant. A pair of void divine cones? This was a pair of divine weapons that he had exchanged for with 800,000 merits that he had accumulated through hard work. He cherished them even more than his own life. When his complete clone was out on business, he only carried Chaos Realm weapons with him, and if he died, he died. He kept this pair of divine weapons in the safest place. Brother Luohi, these are a pair of divine weapons. It's too much to ask for them right away. Yang Su was extremely angry. Most of his accumulation over the long years was spent on his own cultivation, but the most precious thing was this pair of divine king weapons. He would rather let Luo Feng kill his clones 10 or 100 times than lose the divine king weapons. If you want to apologize, you have to be sincere. Luo Feng looked at him. It's just a team of divine kings and a weapon of the first level. You are not willing to give it up. How can you call it an apology? I admit that I have offended Brother Luohi before. Yang Su said, I believe Brother Luohi has also guessed that I have a reason for targeting Brother Luohi. I am willing to tell Brother Luohi the reason. Can Brother Luohi lower the compensation conditions? It's up to you whether you want to tell me or not. Luo Feng shook his head. How could a Chaos Realm Transcendent be able to deliberately target me and create a grudge against me? Since I came to the Origin Continent, I have been keeping a low profile and trying not to cause trouble. There are only a few people who have conflicts with me. After a brief calculation, Luo Feng guessed that it might be the person from Xiangjia Palace. I didn't want to offend Brother Luohi, it was the one from Xiangjia Palace. Yang Su said in a voice transmission, every grievance has its perpetrator, and I was also instructed by him. I am just a nobody. I guessed it was the Xiangjia Palace, but I can't do anything to them either. Luo Feng looked at Yang Su. All I can do is kill their minions first. Yang Su was furious. For me, the death of a few clones is no big deal, but if you take action, it will be like attacking the border city, which will destroy the military discipline of the Yangfeng ancient country. Luo Feng shook his head. I guess your pair of divine weapons are on you right now. Yang Su looked at Luo Feng. Oh, you so sure? Yang Su, you have 2 complete clones. The one that goes on an adventure outside will not carry any important treasures, while the other complete clone that stays in Xiangjia City is the one that carries the treasures. Luo Feng said, the weapon of the God King must be carried with you for contemplation. The most important thing is, if the clone didn't carry the treasure, you wouldn't care about the clone's death, and you wouldn't be so humble and endure it. Luo Feng looked at him. Yang Su was angry. He practiced the art of clones, and his clones were scattered in different places on the Origin Continent. If it wasn't for the treasures he carried with him, how could he have endured this? Luohi. Yang Su sneered, you should be able to find out the special properties of Xiangjia City, which allows people to transcend the Chaos Realm. Guarding Xiangjia City is indeed very special. Before Luo Feng took action, he naturally had to collect information in advance. Xiangjia City guards the entrance to a world called Xiangjia. Yang Su sneered, inside Xiangjia, there are creatures of the Han Yuan bloodline cultivated by the Yangfeng ancestor. If you attack Xiangjia City and cause the entrance to be leaked, can you afford the price? Attacking a border city is a serious crime. If an accident occurs in the world we are guarding, it will be an even more serious crime. Yang Su said, I, Yang Su, am responsible for guarding Xiangjia City. I have been working diligently and dare not allow any accidents to happen. If you come to attack, I will do my best to resist you. There may be loopholes in the entrance to the city. I have already told you about the danger in advance. If you knowingly commit a crime, no one can save you. Yang Su looked at Luo Feng. Luo Feng, listen. Yang Su's tone softened. I am carrying the weapons of the God King to coordinate with the formation. It will not be easy for you to break through the city. I advise Brother Luohi to leave. I am willing to compensate 50 billion cosmic sands to resolve the grudge between you and me. 50 billion cosmic sands are not enough to buy even one weapon of the Divine King. You call it an apology? Nothing more. Luo Feng shook his head. Shrouded in the vast dark world, Luo Feng's eyes turned cold. Yang Su knew something was wrong. He immediately tried his best to control the city, and the formation had to resist the attack. Boom! Suddenly, a vast and endless black river appeared in Xiangjia City. The black river rolled and flooded the entire city in the blink of an eye. It is easy to penetrate many key points of the formation from the inside out and break the formation. When did you enter the city? Yang Su couldn't believe that this endless black river actually entered the city first and destroyed the formation hub from the inside. Since Luo Feng had decided to take action, he had naturally used his invisible and formless ability to transform 3 billion black rivers into invisible air currents, flying into the city and merging into the air currents of heaven and earth. Without the formation, what else can you do? Luo Feng looked down at the endless black rivers spreading over. These black rivers also protected countless practitioners in the entire Xiangjia city, preventing them from being affected. What's going on? This black water stream does not seem to be harmful. Countless practitioners in Xiangjia city looked at the black water flowing around them. The black water flow was very gentle, spreading everywhere. They even felt a strong sense of security. You attacked the border cities, destroyed the formations, and opened the entrance to the world of Xiangjia. This is a heinous crime, and the ancient country of Yangfeng will never forgive you. Yang Su's face was ferocious. Now that the Black River world was sealed off from inside and outside, he knew he couldn't escape. His pair of divine weapons were about to be taken away, and he was naturally unwilling to accept it. Luo He, I will report this to the Emperor and have him punish you. Luo Feng understood that Yang Su was reporting to the contemporary Emperor, the Emperor's husband. In this era, it is the Emperor who is in power and manages the ancient country of Yangfeng. Punishment? Luo Feng looked at him and smiled coldly. If you dare to take action, you must check the situation in advance. Attacking Xiangjia city is indeed a serious crime, but according to the laws of the Yangfeng ancient country, this price can be afforded. Luo Feng felt that it was worthwhile to pay some price to deal with the pair of divine weapons that Yang Su had taken away from him. This video will end here.